Right.
We know that in the back of our heads, but for some reason saying it out loud, it makes us feel bad.
Yeah. But I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad because I'm here to educate. I'm here to just wake people the fuck up.
Wake up!
As much as I probably should, and that's why everybody, like, in the one group I'm in, everybody's like, then why do you call yourself a Christian witch?
Because you
are.
I said
because it's not just, my practice is not just about the Bible. And we had this massive debate, and it got really ugly about the Bible. And I put a question in the group about, if you call yourself a witch and a Christian, but yet you put your entire faith in the Bible, why are you here? The Bible was a book written by men. It wasn't written. I had so many people go, why are you? Well, the Bible was written by God. And I'm like, no, it was not. It was written by a human man. It was not written by God. I was like,
and I know, because it's like we know that it wasn't, it just materialized or written,
right.
Perfect.
Right.
We know that in the back of our heads, but for some reason saying it out loud, it makes us feel bad.
Yeah. But I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad because I'm here to educate. I'm here to just wake people the fuck up.
Wake up!
Wake up! Damn it. That's my goal for 2020 is I want people to wake up. I really want them to go, Christian witchcraft is a thing. It's not bad. It's not evil. It's been around since the beginning of time. It's like,
yeah. Even to me, and there are certain things that I about my own traditions that have died out.
Yeah.
Because and yes, I have to say this. It is true. I'm extremely whitewashed. I don't know what the hell that means, but there is a lot of things.
I think you're extremely eclectic. I really do. I think that, you are a teacher in your own right. You are here to teach, and you've opened our eyes. I'm like, you've blown our mind. I'm like, damn. Okay. It's just like, that's why when you said you were going to walk away, I'm like, no, no.
But for example, tomorrow, it's the Three Kings Eve date celebration, and there is nothing more magical than that. The three wise men, the three the magicians that went and visit Jesus at the moment of this birth. And I was talking to Amber about this yesterday. We, in the Western culture, we have put so much emphasis on Jesus' birth and everything that happened after he turned 12.
Right.
Nothing in between.
Right.
But his
so what happened from birth to 12? What happened? The 12 years, what happened? We need to know.
And we have all those in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the infancy of Jesus. I remember when I read it, I was still very much full-blown a Christian preacher.
Yeah.
And when I read it, it was like a mixture of this is closer to what could have really have happened than anything else I was told growing up.
Yeah.
It's not easy to swallow because there's certain chapters, and Amber was the one that reminded me that, because whenever I would bring a new book to the house, I was not the type of Christian. Yes, I forced my children to go to church.
Yeah.
And
they still think that I'm forcing myself. I said, no, I love our church. I love most of the people in our church. And the fact that my pastor, I know my pastor, because he has displayed it in the middle of a damn church service, has my back, I will go. And I will sit there and continue to thwart the naysayers. And they're like, well, you're a witch. You're right, I am. But, you know, and I wear my pentacle openly because it's a Christian cross. It's a cross, but it has a pentacle in the middle of it. It's like,
and that's a very old symbol. Well, the combination of both, the evolution of the cross and the way that the ankh, they say that the ankh came first, and the ankh came afterwards. And there are so many things that we're afraid to ask or to talk about to other people. And that was the dreams that I were having, that we were discussing, that you guys were discussing, that we were all discussing very specific things about Christianity and paganism that nobody wants to talk about.
And that's why I love the Christian Witches Roundtable, is because that's what we do. We're not, just because we're questioning and just because we're, you know, doesn't make us any less Christian, doesn't make us any less witches. Just because we're giving you some food for thought and saying, okay, maybe look at this from a different point of view.
Oh, because that's another thing. I had neglected everything that had to do with my art. Everything. I stopped. And
you're so, just the little tiny glimpses that I've seen, my mind is like, okay, you make my shit look like kindergarten shit. I'm like, no,
it's just that the things that go through my head, for example, I have, and this is true, and I'm going to put, if I will use this for the video, I'm going to put a little insert of it. My altar is an old lobster tank.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Okay. And it has like a hole for the motor and whatever. And I said, I want to do something different with that. So I went and I'd used the technique of burnt paper.
Okay.
With different messages of different holy books to cover the top part of the altar.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
So whenever you look at it,
one of my friends took an old Bible and junk journaled it as that's her grimoire. As she junked her, I'm like, I don't care how destroyed a book is. I can't bear to junk journal it. I'm like, I can't destroy it. I'm like, nope, sorry, I can't do it. I just can't. I'm like, no.
And I know, and it means because it's conditioning, because my grandmother, and this is where I get my love of books, is that books are sacred. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it is something that was written by Hitler. It is sacred because it teaches us what kind of human we are.
It teaches us.
Yes.
It teaches us, period. It's a teaching tool. So
it's a teaching tool. But at the same time, I said, but if it's going to inspire me. Now, whenever I nail or I reach for the altar, it doesn't matter what I look at. It has something positive to say.
Right. Yeah.
Like, as God, you are the light of the world.
Right.
The universe is doing this and this and this to help you bloom. And it doesn't matter how screwed up I am or how depressed I am. Whenever I look, there is something that says, don't give up, get up, and do what you have to do.
Yep. And if that doesn't work, you call Derrie and be like, bitch, get you. Oh, you are not quitting. No. That's why I literally, when you did your little introduction and Molly's thing, I just was like, I teared up. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh. Because I think it's for so long I pushed against being a teacher and being a healer. And then in the last 2 years, I'm like, screw it. I mean, there's a reason that I'm called the Spirit Mama. There's a reason, and I just have to go with it. I'm like, okay, all right. I can't question it. I'm just gonna go for it.
And to me, it's just that I've been more quiet. I have always been a chatterbox. Always. It doesn't matter if it is in my family. You have known me since I was little. There was always somebody saying, shut up. Like, you talk too much. Shut up. And for the last year and a half, I've been feeling this need to just not say anything and stay, because
just be quiet and learn.
Just
listen.
being quiet. Yes.
Just listen to what.
And
listen to what the world has to say. Yeah.
And it's scary. It's liberating. It's it breaks everything that I thought I knew, and I really like it. And the more that I thought I knew, the less that I knew.
Right. Yeah.
And it just makes me want to listen to more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I realized that none of this pushing and because the last 4 years is all me just talking. And you can ask Angie. I always hated. I am the kind of person that would do an amazing picture, an amazing movie or podcast or whatever, and I wouldn't listen to it because
you're tired of your own voice.
It's thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. And that was my reason.
It's one of those moments of, do you ever get tired of listening to your own voice? Yes, I do. Yeah. Do you ever get tired of listening to your own voice? Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I realized, well, maybe there is a reason why all of this is going on. Maybe there's a reason why, the bad things happened, and maybe it was for me to just shut up and just listen. I don't look at what happened to us as a bad thing. I really don't. Me neither.
It's liberating, and that's why my word of truth. That's why my power word this year is truth. It was a truth test. It was. Guess what? I'm gonna smack you in the face with truth. You're not gonna like it, but here you go, exactly. And you're gonna have to deal with it. And I was like, okay. But look at the adventure. Look at the healing that came out of that. And that's the way I look at it is, look at the liberation, look at the healing, look at the teaching that came out, look at the lesson that came out of that.
Actually, and that is the thing that when I was looking, I was trying to rationalize myself, say what good has come out of this. And the first thing that came to mind, Derrie is making YouTube again. She's in YouTube again. And not just.
I think that's part of my truth is I let the fear take over for so long, and I realized, fuck it, I have important shit to say. And granted, right now my channel is mostly tags and vlogmases and stuff like that, but still, that vlogmas was amazing. Annie did an amazing job on that vlogmas. I mean, it kind of blew my mind, the answers that came out of my mouth when I would go back and watch it. I'm like, damn, I'm pretty wise. Whoa, wait a minute, where did that come from?
That is the beauty of tags. And I'm going to be very honest. I was never the type of person that, the first tag that I ever participated was the tag that I came up with for the Hidden TV.
Yeah.
And it felt really weird, but it was a hit. And I said, so people really do like this. And when you started doing the
tags are huge on YouTube. They're huge.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
And see, that's the thing, is that's what the witchy community loves. They love tags. They love witchy hauls. Like seriously, if you go to the grocery store and you get spell supplies, get your camera out and make a video. I'm serious. It's like, okay, I'm like, all right. They love hauls. They love tours. They want to see your collections. They want to see your herbs. They want to see that, they want to see, and that's what we crave. That's what witches crave. It's like, okay, we're not alone and that's why I love watching or seeing altered craft, is because yes, this crazy amalgamation that I'm living in right now is an altar or a sacred space. But even if it's just a white tablecloth and a couple of stones and a candle, it's still beautiful.
I know, right?
It could be the most crazy, wild colorful nut job of a room like mine, or it can be just pure and simple. It's just depending on, and it doesn't have, you don't have to go out and buy stuff.
Yep, that is true.
You know, literally, I mean, somebody cracked up because I have stuffed animals all over my altar.
Oh,
and I'm like, isn't she cute?
Yes.
She's a little rainbow dragon.
Yes.
It just makes me happy. And that's what your sacred space needs to be, is things that, yeah, exactly. Things that make you happy. You know, it's like, but I've also been doing this for a long time, so I've got a shit ton of clutter, as my husband says. He calls it clutter, and I'm like, no. You know, I love this. I got this for Christmas.
Ooh, I love those bubble heads.
It's the pop. It's the pop,
yes.
But it's more Morticia. And my daughter Laura's nickname growing up was Wednesday, so we got her the Wednesday.
You know that was.
Yeah.
My mom used to call me that because that was me. I was a creepy child.
So is Laura.
And you know how Wednesday sleeps like this? For the longest time, I used to sleep like this because I used to suck my thumb.
Yeah, Laura does sleep like that. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Out of convenience, not anything else.
Yeah. But, you know, I love this. I have a resin box, but it's a coffin, but it's rainbow. And
I have
like,
coffins too.
But everybody's like, what the hell is wrong with you? A coffin, a rainbow coffin? I'm like, guys, it makes me happy. Leave me alone. I'm not here, you know, I'm like, so I'm like, whatever. Just like, it's crazy. It's just, but it just makes me happy. You literally have to let your soul lead you. I don't care if it looks antiquated and fucked up and whatever. If it makes your soul happy and your soul says do this, then do it. Because when I made my Morrigan altar, I literally meditated and I said, okay, what do you want? And she came to me and she said, red, black, crows, candles. Okay. And then she said, and I want blood. And I was like, well, there we go. There's the
I was waiting for that one because the last time that I meditated on the Morrigan, which I really want to hear your take on it, because the last time that I really that I discovered the Morrigan, period, I started to seeing all these archetypes of the black crows, then the black feathers, then the black dog, and it was consistent. And I said, okay, then what is it? And they said, you know that's the Morrigan. I said, but what the Morrigan would want with me? What was your experience now that you were describing what happened next when she blood
came to me? And I ran away for a good 3 months. I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. No, because I read. And honestly, it's what I read about her is absolutely, and everything you read about her, until you work with her, what you read about her is absolutely the opposite of what the things you read are there to instill fear. They're there to make you afraid of her. Just like Hecate. Hecate is another one that I'm a little fearful of. Baba Yaga. When Baba Yaga came to me, I'm like, oh, hell no, I am not working with you, crazy man. Hell to the no. And then I was like, you know what? Okay. And you know what got me through Baba Yaga was, if Molly can do it, I can do it. If Molly Roberts can work with Baba Yaga and love Baba Yaga, then okay, I can do this. I got this. All right, let's do this, you know. But it's like because I don't like blood. I don't like stuff. And I'm like, I'm not into blood magic. I'm not. And she was just like, I just need some blood. And I was like, yeah, no. And I turned tail and she kept knocking. She's like, I'm not going away. And I'm like, yes, you are. She's like, no, I'm not. I was like, all right, okay. And after about 3 months, I was like, all right, she's got something to teach me, and I really got to buckle down if I want to grow and I want to expand, I can't just ignore. And one of my friends is like, Derrie, you crave balance. And yes, it all comes down to you being a Libra, but Jesus is your light and the Morrigan is your dark. And that's where you're going to find the balance. That's where you're find, that. And I was like, okay, all right. And honestly, in my darkest moments, she has held my hand. She has been more of a mother to me than, and that's what, that's why most women who work with the Morrigan are called daughters of the Morrigan, because she is a mother. But yeah, she's definitely a mother. She is, she's got me through the death of my dad. She really, when I wanted to fall apart and crumple, she was like, you're stronger than this. You've been here before. You know what this is. You've got to let him go. He's ready. You've got a family. You can't crumble. You're stronger than this. And I was like, and I finally had to just, when he went, it was his time. He was ready. Yes, I miss him, but I can't. He was 80 years old. I was like, it's time to go, Dad. It's time to just, release it and let it go. Whereas with my mother, who I had a very tenuous relationship, I wasn't ready for her to go, because we had a lot of stuff to fix that never got fixed and never got resolved. And I was like, all right. And then when Granny died when I was 16, she was the first person I ever had that was close to me die. She was my mentor. She was my best friend. She was my rock. And I was like, I can't do this. So death has been a very big turning point for me and a catalyst for me in my practice.
When you're not ready for somebody to pass, or it never crossed your mind because you just didn't want to, it makes it harder. Yeah. And there is this rage, because I am going to put it like that, this rage that comes upon you, that if you don't let it out, if you don't work with it, you're throwing up, you get constipated, I gave myself a heart attack, like literally, because I was trying to hold on to all those feelings. And but that's one of the things that the Morrigan does, and Hecate makes you face. But
the nice thing that I learned about the Morrigan is that she's not going to leave you. She's not going to make you go through that trial by fire and abandon you as you go at the beginning and not be there at the end. She's going to hold your hand and walk you through it. She will be there beside you through everything, that you're going through. And you that's why I say she's definitely a mother figure. She's definitely, so I had to just tap into that, and I was like, okay, and that's why when my word of power this year is truth, and then I had the dream, because I don't remember my dreams unless a guide or a guardian or something comes through, and the goddess Althea, or the not Athena, but the goddess Veritas came through.
Veritas.
Yes, and I was like, okay, I can't deny that the word of power is truth, because here's I'm like, all right, so okay. So, and I've noticed that lately the Morrigan, she's still here, but she's kind of faded in the background, because she knows that Veritas has something to teach me, so she's kind of letting her come forward. And I'm like, all right, okay, all right. I don't like when they take over. I'm like, I don't like this.
But it's necessary. Sometimes we think we don't have the balls to do certain things, but we find out that we can do a lot more. And that's what I've learned. That's what I learned once I became, that quote unquote orphan, when my dad passed away, and I'm literally on my own, so to speak, as a child of, as my parents are gone. It's like, wait a minute. And I really had to tap into, can I do this? Can I survive being, without the parents? Can I, and I was like, and that's, a lot of that came in Salem. A lot of that was when I
2 weeks after and I'd never traveled, much less traveled by myself. And I hopped on a plane 2 weeks after my dad died and went to Salem by myself. And I was like, and I wasn't going to go. And then I thought, no, there's a lesson there. I have to go. I have to heal. I have to let go by myself. And I just literally was like, I just had an awakening. I was like, okay, all right, I got this. We're good. Let's go. I was like,
what do you see for yourself regarding your channel, regarding the Christian Witches table, regarding all of these things that you have taken upon? Because it's not only, because this is the thing that I see, that I have seen you do, gone from being really sheltered because of what happened to you a couple of years ago. Yeah, crazy bitches be crazy. To opening yourself to everybody in the community.
Yeah.
And I am going to tell you something. You have served, remember when I told you that I was, as maybe I should, put this aside and what have you.
Yeah. No, I would not let you. No.
Then you invited me to a very specific group. We're going to give a shout out to Moon Baby's circle.
Yes, Miss Molly Roberts group.
Miss Molly Roberts group, which she was one of the first 3 witches that I found on YouTube years ago.
Wow.
And I had no idea that I knew she has her Patreon account, and I know she had her channel, and I'm always there revisiting every single one of her videos. But when I saw that, what it reminded me was those 3 words: group, Moon Babies, and the craft.
Yeah.
And that reminded me for a reason. Yes. And that's why I felt this big. This big, and I was feeling really depressed. I was feeling out of place. And when I opened the invitation, and I said, "Are you really?" And I started doubting myself. And I said, "Is this what it really?" Okay, but this is Derrie. I said, "Holy crap!" Holy crap! It's Valerie Love, the whole thing all over again.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh my!" And then I started to tear up because that remember that, I don't know if you have seen it, and if you haven't, you have to. Yeah, I don't know if it's a poem that she wrote about being a witch.
Yes, I did see that. Yes, yeah, because it brought my friend. It brought my friend Seth, who is, I don't know if I sent you his invitation. He's got a page now. He's starting to come back to YouTube. Luna something boy. Luna Witch Boy, I think is his page, but he literally just left the church. He just was like, you know what? I've been going to the church. He was a Catholic. He left witchcraft for the Catholic Church. Ironic. And then he left the Catholic Church, and then he left the Catholic Church and went to the Episcopal Church. And then he finally was like, I'm not being true to myself. And he told his husband, he said, I can't do this anymore. I have to do what my soul is calling me to do. And he and I have been talking on the phone for like the last couple of nights now, and I'm just like, honey, I knew this was in you, and it broke my heart when he left the craft and went, solely and renounced the craft. And I was like, that's not you. That's not you. You can be a Christian. He's like, I don't want to be a Christian anything right now. He goes, I just want to do I'm like, okay.
What is his name?
You. Luna Witch Boy, I think.
Luna Witch Boy.
Yeah.
This is what's going on, honey. This is what's going on. Yesterday I was, and maybe this is a confirmation. I don't know who you are, but maybe this is a confirmation for you. Yesterday, Alex has a an upper respiratory infection, and since he's an asthmatic, we had to take him immediately to get him some shots of
right.
Yeah. So I just was passing through the doctor's office, and I see just a bit crack open, a room in the back.
Yeah. You said that, yeah.
And I had to post it, and I was, I should have taken a picture, but that disrespectful. This doctor, he's a Catholic, and he has the most beautiful room, and it's a huge altar. I'm talking about the glass candles, the statues of Jesus. You have this huge Virgin Mary statue that I just had to, and I know it is rude to stare, but I was just, because I have never seen that in a place of business. Outside of botanicas, of course, but this is a doctor's office, and I said, holy crap, there are very few pagans, very few, and I can count them with one hand, that in their place of work that has nothing to do with witchcraft or with a store or what have you, that they have a place for an altar. Yeah. So if you came from the Catholic Church, honey, you guys invented altars, sacred spaces, candle magic. Yeah. Even the incense that they go like this, frankincense, so when the Pope's farts don't smell. That is not my joke. I cannot take credit for that. But
but that's like when, you know, I got called out in our Methodist church, and the pastor's like, I've seen Derrie's altars. What do we have on our altar? And the lady was like, you have flowers and candles and incense. What does Derrie have? And he actually pulled up a picture of my altar on the big screen and was like, what is on Derrie's altar? Besides the Stormtrooper Buddha and some stuffed animals, what the hell is on her altar? He said there's candles, there's flowers, and there's incense. You can't, it's the same thing, but it's like she took it a step further because she put stuff on there that brings her joy.
Yes.
Which is what your sacred space should embody. Which is what you want your sacred space to be somewhere you want to come to touch every day and come to look at every day. You want to spend time there. Exactly. And if it's sterile and it's white and it's boring and it's not you, I'm not going to want to go and spend time there. Sorry. Not my idea of a good time.
And but your space has to inspire something, like you said.
If I have things like rainbow dragons and colorful art and Barbie dolls and crazy candles and things that make me happy, that's where I'm going to want to go. You know, it's just like,
because it is what it is, and we don't have to, and we have to break that stupid stereotype that all witches just wear black and purple or dark forest green.
Well,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean.
I think that's where I want. That's where I want my vision to go. Is I want my vision to blow people's minds. I want my words and my ramblings and my stupidity to just go, oh, wait a minute, I identify with that. Okay, I get that. You know, you're allowed to have a bad day. It's not a bad life. It's just a bad day. You know, you're allowed to have a shit show of a day and sit with it but don't unpack and live there. That's not your life. That's not your life.
Yep, just leave the baggage there.
Right. But there is a lesson in there. You have to sit with that baggage. You have to learn from it and then go, oh, okay, and then release it with the breath of kindness and every love in your heart. You got to release it and let it go, and then take that lesson and adapt it into your life. You know, one of my favorite quotes, and it's on my vision board, is The most powerful mind-altering substance is the truth. Think about that.
Yep.
Think about that.
Is.
Let that, you know, and yes, I'm not going to lie, and I've said it on a couple of my vlogmases. There are people in this world that don't like me. And I don't blame them for that, because when, you know, I did them wrong. You know, but the difference is I owned my shit.
And that's one of the main reasons why I respect you. The day that I
stood up and I said, "You're right, I'm wrong."
Believe it or not, I watched all of your videos, but I watched them like, you know, like Netflix type of thing. So
you binge watched my videos. Oh my God.
Yeah, I Netflix those bitches.
Oh my God.
And I love that about you, because the accountability is so rare in the spiritual community. And people that own their shit automatically get it gets some brownie points with me. Why? Because that's a person that you can actually have a conversation with.
Right. And there's people out there that are still saying, "Oh, Derrie's this and Derrie." No, because that's where you stopped. That's the only part of me you want to focus on. I'm over that. I'm not that. I'm gone. Have fun with that. That means that you're not growing, not me. You're stuck in that stagnant muck, not me. I got shit to do. Bye. I got rainbows to make and things to create and make myself happy. You know, I got candles to make for my friends. I got crystal goods to make. I got a business to run. I got family to grow. I'm like, I'm a grandma. No, I've got stuff to do. Bye.
I got no time for that. We got no time for that.
Exactly. Ain't nobody got no kind of time for that kind of shit. Nope.
What have been your favorite tags? Because you're the one that got me into that crap. You're the one that got me addicted to that.
Honestly, and I'm not meaning to toot my own horn, but that stupid little that Yule-tastic witchy tag that I made, that I came up with, that was from another tag, but I added onto it because I added the Christian stuff to it, and I was like, open your minds. And only one other person did it. Angie and one other person did the art. I'm like, come on. I was like, but at least it got out there for a little bit. But I was like, that was kind of fun. You know, when you sit down and go, okay, let's do it this way. And let's get, you know, tags are meant to make you think. They're not, you know, and it's a way to get to know the individual. But it's like, wow, okay. You know, let's put some thought behind this tag. You know. So
we're going to start doing the witchy tags. Yeah, we're going to start doing some very interesting witchy tags here at the Witches Haven. And maybe you can help us out, you know, to come up with something. Because like I said, she was the one.
You know the girls and I got this. You know this. So.
To include everything. Because what I liked about the tags that you do is that it's more inclusive.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why I never did witchy tags, because they were all about Wicca.
Right.
And what the hell do I have to say about something that, yes, I'm acquainted with, but not all witches are Wiccan.
But even though you're acquainted with it, you can still use it because you've learned stuff that nobody else has learned. You took from it what somebody else hasn't thought of. That's why I love being an eclectic witch, is because, yes, I'm a Christian, but I borrow stuff from Hinduism and Buddhism and Satanism and Luciferianism and, you know, but that, you know, and I put my spin on it, you know, and I make it work for me, you know, and that's what I love about, you know, it's not, everybody's like, oh, well, Wicca's Wicca. I'm like, no, you have a very specific opinion of Wicca because it's you. It's not Joe Schmo over here. What's a non's view of Wicca? What's a non's view of Christianity? What's a non versus what's Derrie's view of Wicca? What's Derrie's view? You know, they're going to be completely different. That's why I absolutely love the Christian Witches Roundtable, is because we're all Christian witches, but each one of us is different.
I know.
all have different, like where Kristen and Angie use the Bible, I don't. You know, where
I have never met
where Autumn and Sloan use like Appalachian, I don't. You know, they may not use color, but I do. You know, it's all just, you know, so.
It's all about the point of view.
We're all Christian. We all use Jesus in our craft in some way or another. You know, that's our commonality right there, is that we all use Jesus in our craft. Jesus plays a big part in all of our crafts, but the part he plays in each one of our individual crafts is different.
And I have to say that you're absolutely right, and I have to confess here, I had a really estranged relationship with Christianity, and it wasn't until I met you guys that things have changed. Things have changed. Yes. and I have learned, because I have known Christians that have practiced witchcraft. I have never met witches that were Christian. There is a difference.
Yeah.
There is a huge difference. Yeah. I'm telling you, these women have changed my perspective of what a witch is. And I'm telling you, I could have a really shitty day. And then I see Derrie's inspirational post, or Autumn being crazy. And it's my kind of crazy.
Did you see the meme that she put on my face? Oh my God. About you, they say that you shouldn't call yourself a witch, and you say, who's gonna come at me? And I tagged Valerie in it, and Valerie was like, I got you back. Ain't nobody coming both of us twice at the same time. They could take us down. I was like, all right, we got this. We're good.
And I'm telling you, and when Angela starts speaking, because she has this flow, I call her the Oracle of Delphi / Mary Magdalene.
Yeah.
When she starts going and she starts doing the readings, it all flows, and I just sit in awe. Yeah. You see, this is the way that you do readings. This is the way that you channel. So there is. And the freshness and the hope that Angie and Sloan, because them being new witches, those baby witches, or you know,
and see, I love the fact that Sloan sits there and says, "I don't know anything." I'm like, honey, you know a lot more than you think you do.
Yes, she does.
You are wise beyond your years, and you don't know it because you haven't tapped into it yet. But damn. Like, when she taps into that, you better step back and watch it and let her go, because she's gonna fly. I'm like, okay. And that's what I love about, you know, everybody's like, oh, newbie witches, and I don't like, and, you know, I'm like, you know what? I don't think there is a newbie witch. I mean, there are days that, you know, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I'm not blowing my horn because people say I love to brag. I'm not bragging. I'm really not. I'm just saying that.
But is the truth?
But it's also, there are days that I feel like a high priestess, and then within the next 5 minutes, I feel like, I'm like, okay, I don't know shit. You know, it's very humbling. That's the thing, is that it's not even just witchcraft, but Christian witchcraft especially is very eye-opening, and it's very humbling. It will knock you down and drag you. I mean, it's like, okay, damn. You know, and it's really weird, because I remember how we all idolized Valerie Love, and we still do, but she's like a sister to me now. I've talked to her on the phone. You know, it's just like, and I'm a member of her YouTube channel, and you know, but it's just like, wow. And I kind of get that giggle. I still get the giggle when she shouts me out on YouTube, or you know, when she's in a video, she's like, and because the other day she did one, and she's like, Derrie, how do you not love that baby all day? I'm like, if she were closer, I would.
Yeah.
No, that little fat baby, I was like, she looked at my little video and she was like, how do you not squeeze her all day long? I'm like, if I was closer, I would. Believe me, if her mama would let me at her, I would.
Aww.
But it's just, it's that familiar, you know, that pedestal we had her on. Once we did the interview, I was like, okay, she's one of us. She's, you know, she's still just a human, you know, but her books are mind blowing. She just put out a new one. I'm like, I can't wait to read it. I'm waiting for it in the mail, you know, but I'm just like, she's another one where, you know, she's got a lot to say and you better shut up and listen because she's, you know, you can learn a lot.
Because it's experience talking and you can actually, you can feel it, you can understand it, because it doesn't come from you just sitting and reading other people's experiences. Right. She went through all that shit. Right.
And that's why I won't let you give up on it, because you are here to teach and you are here, you know, I look at you as a mentor and I'm like, I wouldn't be where I am without I wouldn't be. And I'm like, you're not, you've still got shit to say. And I'm still sitting at your knee waiting for the wisdom to, you know, it's like, come on.
I call it my magical middle age crisis.
Yeah.
That's it. My magical middle age crisis. But it's really, we're going to put on the description your channel information, she's crazy. It's just, she's just crazy. And you have to see it because it's a visual party whenever it has to do with Derrie, with Miss Derrie, the Sinner Witch.
There we
Carpenter. Go. Now?
There we go.
Okay. We're going to put all of your information down below so people can find you and subscribe to your channel. She has this amazing list of witchy tags. And she said that she was going to help us do the same thing here for the channel. What is the one thing that you can tell people? It doesn't matter if they're new witches, old witches, Christian witches, or pagan witches. What is the one thing that you want them to know?
Listen to you. Just do you. Listen to you. There's a reason that little voice in your soul is there. It's never gonna lead you wrong, ever. And I ignored it for many, many years. And I'm just now getting back to it, and I'm like, okay, you know, I've had a lot of people say to me, what you're doing is wrong, and what you're doing, and it's not wrong. It's just you're coming at it from a different perspective.
Yep, that is true.
You know, I'm doing what my soul is craving. I'm doing what my soul is saying. This is my version of flying. You know, like Anon is the mama bird and I'm the baby bird and she's pushed me out and I'm flying. It's like, there we go. It's like, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, and I've got some stuff to say and I'm going to say it in my own crazy, wild, colorful, rainbow-tastic, witchy way. I'm gonna say it.
Holy crap! and that's the way it's gotta be. So remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Remember, YouTube is changing, so we need to have those likes in order to keep us in rotation. So just invite your friends. This is for all witches, all ages, all paths. So here is the Sinner Witch, Miss Derrie Carpenter. And we'll see you next time.
Alrighty. Bye, guys.